Hi everybody, my name's Larry Mahan, sometimes known as Mr. Sunshine. I have a brand new trick for you today to show you, made by Sunshine Magic Store. The trick is called Journey to Bethlehem. And it talks about all of the characters, or a lot of the characters in the story, about the birth of Christ. All right, it's got 8-page instruction manual, and has all the references that you should mention. And well, let me just get on with the story. So here we have two envelopes. One says Bethlehem, one says Nazareth. So we're going to talk about the birth of Christ. And so in this envelope, there's nothing. It's empty. But this envelope has some special Christmas cards in it. All right, so these Christmas cards have some pictures of characters from the Bible story about the birth of Christ. So let's look at some of them. This is the wise men. Now, why are the wise men important to the story? They actually didn't get there during the birth of Christ or right after the birth of Christ. It was probably a couple of years before they showed up. But they're very important to the story because the wise men came from afar, which tells us that the birth of Christ wasn't just for the Jews. It was for the whole world. And so that's what the wise men stand for in the story. Also, their gifts are very important. Caesar Augustus, he didn't believe in God, not the real God, but God used him by fulfilling the prophecy in Micah about Christ being born in Bethlehem. So even though Joseph and Mary lived in Nazareth, Christ had to be born in Bethlehem. So Caesar Augustus made a decree that to create a census of people had to go to the cities of their ancestors. And Bethlehem was the city of David, so Joseph and Mary had to go to Bethlehem. So God used Caesar Augustus in this story. Angels. Angels are very important to the story. An angel appeared to Mary to tell her that she was going to carry the Son of God. An angel appeared to Joseph to tell him that he should still marry Mary, even though she was already pregnant. And angels appeared to the shepherds to tell them of the birth of Christ. So angels are very important to this story. And the shepherds are important because shepherds are symbolic of Christ. Christ is the great shepherd, and we're his sheep. And so shepherds are very important to the story of the birth of Christ. Animals. Animals were important. So animals have very great significance in Jewish lives. So the oxen traditionally represents patience, the nation of Israel, and the Old Testament sacrificial worship. And the donkey represents humility, readiness to serve, and the Gentiles. So all of those things, plus the donkey that carried Mary all the way on the trip, and the other animals that just watched as Christ was born, they're very important. So the innkeeper. The Bible doesn't actually mention an innkeeper, but there must have been an innkeeper because there was somebody who told them they There was no room in the inn. But probably there were a lot of innkeepers. Because there were probably a lot of inns in Bethlehem. And so they probably were turned down at many, many inns before they took shelter in a stable. So Mary and Joseph are the most important parts of this story. And Mary and Joseph are important because they're the mother, the worldly mother and father of Jesus. So what I want to do is I want to take Mary and Joseph and turn them over, and I'm going to put them into the Nazareth envelope. So I'm going to put them in the Nazareth envelope and leave it right there where you can watch it the whole time. All right? But now I need to find a helper from the audience. Now I don't have any helpers today, so I'm just going to tell you about what they do. The helper comes up, and I ask them to be a magician because Mary and Joseph have to travel a long ways to get to Bethlehem. But to make it easier for them, because it would be a very difficult trip on a donkey for a pregnant woman to make the trip. So we're going to try to make it easier by moving them there by magic. How about that? All right. So then I bring the helper up, and I use the amazing Magician's Helper hat bag. And I use that to dress the kid up like a magician. And let me pick up this envelope. Knocking everything down because it's a cramped space here. Oops. So with the Magician's Helper's hat bag, I say I need to dress you up like a magician so you can be a good magician here. And in my hat bag, I have a magician's hat. So I look into the bag and I take out the magician's hat and I put it on the head of the helper. But it's actually just a black handkerchief. So that goes on the head of the helper, and the audience complains that that's not a magician's hat. So I say, okay, well, let's try to turn it into a magician's hat. And so then we say some magic words, wave our hands, and have the kid reach into the bag and take out the magician's hat. All right, are you ready to reach into the bag? Okay, take out the magician's hat. He takes out a hat that pops open into a gorgeous magician's hat. So this goes on his head, and then I look in the bag and I say, wait a minute, there's something else in here. And then the whole bag turns into a magician's costume just by turning it inside out. And it makes a tuxedo costume for the kid to wear. And so that dresses him up as a magician. So I really recommend using that with this trick and many other tricks as well. So dress the kid up as a magician's helper. And then we use all the wand gags. And at Sunshine Magic Store, we have the wand gags as Larry Mahan uses them. So these are a lot of wand gags. There's a breakaway wand in here, a rubber wand that just bends. There's a jumping wand that jumps away from the kid as he tries to take it. There's a finger wand. That's like one of those finger pointers, but it looks like a magic wand. There's a snake wand that turns into a snake when the kid tries to take it. And there's Wanda the Magic Blonde. Yeah, she's like a little Barbie doll on the end of a wand. And when the kid takes it, then he has a Barbie doll, which is really funny. And then there's some comedy lines you can say with that. And then there's a regular wand. So at the end, you give the guy, the helper, a regular wand, but you act like you're really scared. When he takes it, you hold your head. And then you finally realize it's all right. And you go, all right, great, we got it. So now you can use the wand to make Mary and Joseph travel magically all the way to Bethlehem. All right? So then you have the kid wave the wand, have the audience say magic words, all kinds of things to try to make the card change over to Bethlehem. And finally, you have to look at it and see, and you say, he's gone. He's absolutely gone. Mary and Joseph are gone from the card. Oh, you want to see? What? You want me to turn it over? Okay, I'll turn it over. Oh, turn it the other way. Okay. Do all the turnaround gags you want. And finally, you show that Mary and Joseph are gone from Nazareth. And then we come over to the Bethlehem. And we look in here and we find a card. And then I always turn this around and I put it back in and I say, before I show you Mary and Joseph, I want to tell you a little bit about what happened in that stable. So Jesus' mother, Mary, gave birth to him and laid him in a manger. And in that lowly place, the Son of God, the Savior of the world, was born. And you can explain as much about it as you want, but finally you take the card out and you show that it's not just Mary and Joseph that are in Bethlehem, but Mary, Joseph, and the baby. So that's Journey to Bethlehem. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you can use the trick. So have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.